drinking and being merry. January is finally here. It's time to hit the reset button.
After a month of eating, drinking and being merry, what better way to kick off your new year by eating your lunch at 11 o'clock in the morning? Phil, you're doing 2 dishes for us today.
You've had scones already as well.
Exactly. The first is chow mein.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep it slightly different. So here we go, here it is, look. So I think about chow mein, which is a fried noodle dish, essentially is anything goes, really, provided you've got noodles and bean sprouts, which I love. And sometimes I just have bean sprouts, noodles, and perhaps a bit of coriander, and that's it. So you can work equally as well. Now, the thing to say about it also is, great little tip here, if you're going to do any stir-fry, now I haven't done it on this dish because sometimes you just don't do it, but if you put all what I call your raw vegetables, which are quite hard vegetables, your peppers, your mange two, possibly your spring onions, into a pan of cold water, bring them up to the boil, take them off, and then stir-fry them, they're much nicer to eat. They're slightly softer. It just takes out that rawness.
That blanch them, kind of.
Yeah, up to the boil and take them out. It just takes out the rawness. Yeah. So, the thing about chow mein, a little bit goes a long way. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. Now, in this pan here, I have a little handful of peppers. These are just red, green and yellow peppers. Frozen one works pretty well, actually, although you need to drive the moisture off. Give it a bit of colour. That's the only thing you really need to give a bit of colour to. Then I'm going to add the aromats, so a little touch of oil. Now, in a wok like this, a non-stick wok, 1 tablespoon of oil goes a long way. So I cook that in 1 tablespoon of oil. Yeah. I'm going to cook this in 1 tablespoon of oil. I do add what I call the flavourings, which are the ketchup, the oyster sauce and the soy sauce a bit later on.
It's not much, though.
No, it's not. And a little does go a long way. I can't stress that enough.
Is that sunflower oil, like a flavourless oil?
Anything, any oil will do, but I use sunflower oil and I use grapeseed oil and safflower, which are just really good for high temperatures as well. So, in there, I'm going to put a few spring onions. In they go.
Phil, you've done so much travelling and you've probably eaten this dish around the world.
Yeah, I have.
Cantonese, isn't it, by origin, I think?
It's actually... It's quite a complex argument because a lot of it is what they call American Chinese, which is nothing to do with if you go to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is not even Chinese food. Yeah. Hong Kong is completely different from...
So where's the best place you've eaten it?
The best place I've eaten this would probably be Hong Kong. I ate some good stuff in Hong Kong. I actually ate one in Bangkok as well, which is a Chinese restaurant in Bangkok, which is quite bizarre because it's Thailand, but it was very, very good indeed. Yeah. And, yeah, I've been very lucky. We have eaten some good stuff around the world. The other place was Malaya, in Singapore. I ate some very good Chinese in Singapore, for instance. Oh, yeah. Delicious as well.
I just love Chinese food.
I do. I
I
like good Chinese.
I was going to marry someone Chinese who could cook. Doc wasn't interested. He wasn't interested in me.
You keep knocking on that cock door, don't you worry.
Right, back to the dish.
You'll fold eventually.
Back to this. In here, I've got spring onions, fresh ginger. You can use jarred ginger if you want, and you can use jarred garlic if you really want to as well. In there, and all you're doing is taking the rawness out of those. OK. Then I add the peppers back to that, which we just cooked previously. And then it's up to you. I'm using mange two here. You can use green beans, you can use frozen green beans, you can use whatever you like. Certainly... Shall I just carry on?
No, I'm like, she's not eating and she's waiting to the end. I'm like, when did you ever start waiting to the end?
Nobody's got
January. January, new month, new me.
Sorry, Phil.
Anyway, viewer, a few more mange two, some bean sprouts into there as well. I love the crunch of bean sprouts.
How long do they cook to take?
Oh, seconds. Seconds and seconds. So even as you'll see, that very hot wok, they will cook, but as soon as you add a bit of moisture to that, they'll cook down even quicker. OK. Now, protein-wise, I'm using cooked chicken here. Cooked turkey's up to you.
Can you use leftovers?
You can use leftovers, but here's the thing. Half the amount of protein that you would normally use, you can get away with this dish because you're bulking it out with vegetables, bean sprouts and peppers. I sometimes even put smoked mackerel into this as well. I love the oiliness of smoked mackerel. Again, it's very powerful. A little bit goes a long way. So even in this dish, I'm only going to put in probably 100 grams of chicken.
Would you like 2 people buy that chicken pre-cooked, or would you cook your chicken before?
It's up to you. You can do whatever you like. Sometimes my daughter will come home and she buys the wafer chicken and the wafer turkey. That works perfectly. Dad, I will do that, and that's fine.
The colours are beautiful.
So here we go. So I've got soy sauce, about 2 teaspoons. Again, same with oyster sauce. Don't go mad. You don't need to. A little goes a long way. A little dash of ketchup, probably a tablespoon. A little touch of water.
Oh, I can't wait, I'm going in.
You carry in. You carry on. A little touch of water.
In there, is there, in terms of... Not an awful lot of quantity goes in there.
And this is the point. You'll see now the steam, because you put the water in, and you just want to cook that around. All you're doing is bringing those two together. And because I am using a non-stick wok, you'll see that 1 tablespoon of oil and 2 or 3 tablespoons of, I call aromats. Noodles go in at the last minute. I blanch these. You can use rice noodles if you really want. Get out of there. That's a nightmare. A few noodles, which I've cooked.
Aromat the oil. I'm confused.
Aromat's sort of what I call flavouring, so things like ginger, garlic, and the soy sauce and that sort of stuff. And just want to bring that through. Again, these are already cooked. You'll see that it just goes right through.
You're such a magician. 2 minutes ago.
So there we are. So, but the secret is obviously to just have the peppers cooked. If you can blanch them at the start, do. Take the heat out of it. There it is. And you've got yours just there.
So easy.
You did that all with these two numpties chatting in your ear as well for the last couple.
I'm quite used to it.
Phil, that's amazing.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you so much.
Wasn't it good?
It's delicious.
Good stuff.
Now, for all those recipe details and more delicious ideas from our This Morning chefs, head to our free This Morning app.